Kia ora. So, first up today, representing the Waipa district, is the Cambridge BMX Club. After being forced to relocate their track after 30 years, this club set out to build a world-class facility they could be proud of. Here to share their story is the Cambridge BMX Club.
Kia ora tātou. I'm Alan Livingston, Mayor of Waipa, home of champions. And with me I have two champion volunteers, Dawn Nelson and Nolene Kidd, from our champion Cambridge BMX Club. Dawn, a lifelong member, life member and event manager of this year's Nationals, will describe their project of losing their track and facilities to starting from scratch and building one of only 2 international BMX tracks in New Zealand. Sounds easy, but far from it. This $800,000 project involved fundraising, donated materials and labour, and a huge voluntary input from club members. Add to that challenges, such as a consent process costing them over $45,000 because a neighbour took exception to people enjoying themselves. This superb track and facilities is a great asset for Cambridge, for the Waikato, and in fact New Zealand, as this international track was a strong factor in influencing Bike New Zealand deciding to base themselves and their high-performance program in Cambridge. Are we proud of them? You betcha. It is the biggest club in New Zealand from a town of only 16,000. It has Olympians and role models Sarah Walker and Mark Willers, a great family club, and has club days with over 150 riders as outsiders come to try out the imposing 6.5 metre high start. A tremendous bunch of volunteers defied the odds and made it happen. This world-class facility is a tremendous asset for our region, and we're immensely proud of them. Let's hear their story.
I know you all remember it. A silver medal to Sarah Walker for BMX, that's us. We are the Cambridge BMX Club, but our beginnings are a far cry from that. You see, over 35 years ago, small tracks were popping up all over New Zealand. We were one of those, moulded out of soil and clay on dumps and old unused pieces of land all over the country. Little rolls of dirt, built-up corners and little jumps. A place where people of all ages could play or race on their push bikes. It was a controlled environment, encouraging safety, good health, fitness and great friends. The sport of BMX evolved. Cambridge BMX Club still has some of those original members in the club today. And Sarah Walker has built a house just over the fence from our new facility. The main reason for shifting was while surveying surrounding land for a subdivision, it was discovered that a portion of the BMX track was actually on their land. Whoops! We had to relocate. After we all sulked for a couple of months, we got to it and decided we could build a new facility, bigger, better and more beautiful. There were 2 to 3 years of planning and lots of support from our Waipa District Council. This task was massive. We had to demolish the old track and build a whole new facility in 6 months of winter. So we had no club, nowhere for our members to ride, and no income. But the memories and the stories and the friends we have made, simply amazing. The BMX families, kids and grandparents who donated and planted a beautiful specimen tree, over 60 of them, that surround our park-like grounds. Each tree has a plaque with the family's name on it, sitting beside it. A photo of each hangs on our wall in our club rooms. How cool for their kids and grandchildren to see these trees grow to maturity. A man who worked alongside us every working bee, we all commented, "Who the hell is that guy?" The answer was always, "I don't know, someone rammed him." That guy's name is Wayne, and he is still known as Random Wayne. He bought a bike and joined our club. The neighbour whose wife always thought he was out walking, but really he only ever got as far as our working bees. So many of the community dropped off plants. Our neighbour in particular dropped off a box hedge he had pulled out. That box hedge sits beautifully trimmed down our first straight. The Cambridge Tree Trust, how great were they? And saved us so much money, dropping off heaps of beautiful plants. There was the unders and the overs. Oh yes, those under 50 got the harder jobs. Always a great discussion about birth dates, haha. I looked over one day and there must have been 30 dads all hammering at once on the start ramp, vigorously, and enjoying it. It was a hell of a noise. Because we had recycled some of our old wood from our old track, we decided to spruce it up with a coat of black paint. Well, the kids loved to paint, but you had to make sure you weren't between the pot of black paint and where the kids were painting, because a dripping paintbrush went straight over top of you. Painting meant wear old clothes and expect to be covered in it. The whole community helped us. Some businesses held their day in the community at our club. Each working bee was special though, in a way that after starting early in the frost and working in the rain, we would stop for lunch and the kids and mums and extras had cooked all sorts. Muffins, soup, pies, sandwiches, fish and chips, you name it. Sitting at our picnic tables, we planned and replanned and replanned again, every step. The laughs and the chatter was brilliant. It soon got round town that there was something big happening up there at the new BMX track. I think the locals realised we were there 24/7 and all looking a bit frazzled. We got desperate. Time was flying, money was getting very low, but still we kept going. There were so many highs. As we built retaining walls and watched as our club rooms were relocated on a huge truck, a mission in its own, built the sheds, planted the banks and used old logs to tidy around the edges. One garden with the letters BMX planted with plants. One garden planted in our club colours of blue and yellow. But there were many, many more lows. Everything took so much longer, had so many more problems and cost us so much more. Like the drainage that cost us $10,000 and didn't seem to be working. I turned up to a working bee and there was a plastic yellow duck floating in the big puddles that should have been drained away. That plastic duck is still there, but it is now perched on a flagpole. There was always the wounded, strained backs, pulled muscles, cuts, hammered fingers, and just plain working beed to death. We kept up the positiveness though. There were no could-have, should-have, would-haves. Our track manager Dave Brown and the dads, they are all stars. They even straightened nails when money got low. They were builders, electricians, plumbers, drain layers, concrete layers, digger drivers and project managers. But really, they were none of those. They were the Cambridge BMX parents. We finally set a date for opening day. We only had to move it once, back 1 week. That week it rained, of course, just like the last 6 months. But that didn't matter. The whole club hugged and smiled that day. We did it. Approximately 25,000 hours of hard labour. Our motto was, we were a bunch of amateurs building the Sky Tower. It may be the home of the Cambridge BMX, but our facility is more widely used by the community. Mums and dads read at the picnic tables while the kids ride. Many a time I visit the track and there are balloons up and a birthday party is taking place. People walk around the park-like grounds. What puts a smile on all our faces are the kids, mums, dads, grandparents, aunties and uncles, all on bikes. The Cambridge BMX Club is hosting the 2013 BMX New Zealand National Championships next weekend for what is the biggest national event in 29 years. We are ready.